7. Il soggetto sottinteso. Implied subject. Often in the Italian language, the subject of a sentence is not explicitly stated. One of these instances is the one of soggetto sottinteso, the one that we see today. Let's see how it works and let's see some examples. Now let's have a look at these sentences. Vado a casa, mangio a mezzogiorno, ascolto la musica. Let's have a look at each of these sentences. Sentence number 1. Vado a casa. I go home. What about this sentence structure? Vado is our verb. A casa, our complement. If we look at the English translation of this sentence, we have another structure. I, which is our subject, go, which is our verb, home, which is our complement. So where is it the subject in the Italian sentence? The key to understand this is all in the verb conjugation. Now we are going to see the difference between the Italian and the English conjugation. The following are the respective conjugations of the Italian verb andare and its English equivalent to go. Indicativo presente di andare. Io vado, tu vai, lui va, noi andiamo, voi andate, loro vanno. Present indicative of to go. I go, you go, he goes, we go, you go, they go. So it is clear that when we look at the conjugation of to go, all the persons have almost the same conjugation apart from the third person singular, which is goes. But apart from that, we cannot recognize, if we write only go, which person does what. If we look at the conjugation of the verb andare, it is clear that each person has its own conjugation, and this makes always clear who is doing what. And this is why we can start a sentence straight with the verb without using the subject. We can also say io vado a casa. This io is there because we want to stress, to make clear a situation. For instance, io vado a casa e tu rimani qui a lavorare. I go home and you stay here to work. Sentence number 2. Mangio a mezzogiorno. I eat at noon. Let's have a look at the conjugation of mangiare and to eat, in Italian and in English respectively. Indicativo presente di mangiare. Io mangio, tu mangi, lui mangia, noi mangiamo, voi mangiate, loro mangiano. Present indicative of to eat. I eat, you eat, he eats, we eat, you eat, they eat. Again, the conjugation of the verb to eat. It's almost always the same apart from the third person singular. If we look at the Italian conjugations, they are different for each single person. This is why we can start a sentence with the verb, because the subject is in the conjugation. Again, we can also say io mangio a mezzogiorno. This io is there because we want to stress, to make clear a situation. For instance, like in this sentence. Io mangio a mezzogiorno e lui mangia alla fine del turno. I eat at noon and he eats at the end of the shift. Sentence number 3. Ascolto la musica. I listen to music. Let's have a look at the conjugation of ascoltare and to listen in Italian and in English respectively. Indicativo presente di ascoltare. Io ascolto, tu ascolti, lui ascolta, noi ascoltiamo, voi ascoltate, loro ascoltano. Present indicative of to listen. I listen, you listen, he listens, we listen, you listen, they listen. Also in this case, the conjugation of the verb to listen is almost always the same apart from the third person singular. The conjugation of the verb ascoltare is always different for each person. I hope this makes clear why we can start a sentence with the verb and we can omit the subject. Again, we can also say io ascolto la musica. This io is there because we want to stress to make clear a situation. Io ascolto la musica e Marco mangia un panino. I listen to music and Marco eats a sandwich. As we have seen, io ascolto la musica e Marco mangia un panino. Io and Marco must be used to stress who is doing what, and both the verbs have to be conjugated accordingly to the situation. In this video, we have seen examples at the present indicative, but this explanation would be the same for all the tenses in the indicative mode. There are situations when we have to use always the proper noun or the personal pronouns, but we'll see them in a dedicated video. Grazie per aver seguito questa lezione. Thank you for following this lesson. Ciao e a presto. I'll see you soon.